following these proceedings for us. Griselda, good morning. And yesterday, finally, things getting off and no stop starts as has characterized this particular case from the beginning. But interesting cross-examination there of the first state witness.
Absolutely, Sakina, and a concession there by the forensic detective Thabo Mosia that the scene where SENZO Meyiwa had died may have been contaminated. Remember, he had contended various times that he does not believe that the scene had been contaminated. However, in sharp focus yesterday, as we had indicated, a 2019 affidavit which he deposed, in which he said because of the amount of hours, 4 hours, after SENZO Meyiwa had died, was that the time that they had arrived on the scene, and that may have contributed or led to a contamination of the scene. So a concession yesterday by the first state witness that the scene where SENZO Meyiwa was killed may have been tampered with. We're expecting Advocate Malisela Tifo to conclude his testimony, his cross-examination, I beg your pardon, of Thabo Mosia. We're expecting him to about 2 hours this morning before the defense lawyer representing accused number 5 will then cross-examine Thabo Mosia. But indeed, yesterday, what the defense was trying to do was trying to poke holes into the statement that was made by Thabo Mosia in pointing out that he is an unreliable witness, he cannot be trusted, and that he was basically accused of covering up the bungles that police had made at the scene. This is according, of course, to the defense. They also contend, you would recall, Sakina, that there was a second docket that was introduced here to this court, in which that docket, which is related to this matter which was opened, that investigation basically says that Kelly Khumalo, who was the girlfriend of the deceased at the time, and was in the house at the time that SENZO Meyiwa was killed, together with 6 other persons, including Longwe Twala, as well as Kelly Khumalo's sister. That docket basically says that those 7 suspects that were in the house at the time should be charged for, amongst others, murder, as well as defeating the ends of justice. So what Advocate Malisela Tifo pointed to was that the scene itself was tampered with on the basis that those who had removed the body of SENZO Meyiwa from the home and taken it to the hospital had known, according to Malisela Tifo, Advocate Malisela Tifo, that SENZO Meyiwa had died at the home of Kelly Khumalo's mother, but they had decided to take the body from there and, to use the exact words, was dump the body of SENZO Meyiwa at the mortuary. So what the defense is basically saying is that they agree with the assertions made in this second docket that the 7 people who were in the house at the time that SENZO Meyiwa was killed should be brought to this court to face these charges, and not the 5 individuals who are sitting in the dock since the start of this trial. He basically says that the 5 men who have been arrested and are now facing these charges are basically being used as scapegoats, and that those who were in the house at the time should have a case to answer. We're expecting very much so that the defense lawyer for accused number 5, Zandile Mshololo, to head towards that direction as well, because the scene itself is very much a bone of contention in terms of how they would be able to view the forensic evidence that was taken at the time. What time did the forensic detective arrive? What is it that he took at the scene? Was the scene contaminated? So that is certainly what the defense will be relying on, and we're expecting much of that this morning as well.
And Griselda, just beyond that, what else can we expect today?
Well, moreover, Sakina, much of a focus again on that affidavit that Mosia had deposed in June 2019. Recall, that was 4 years and some months after SENZO meyiwa had been shot and killed. We're expecting Zandile Mshololo, who is representing accused number 5, well, straight after Advocate Malisela Tifo wraps up his cross-examination, we're expecting Mshololo to also zoom in on this concession that Masiya had made. Remember, he had long contended that he does not believe that the scene was contaminated. He believed that nothing had happened there. He believed that when he got to the hospital and was taken by police officials who were at the hospital to the crime scene, that he didn't believe that anything had happened. In this instance, we were expecting Zandile Mshololo to continue on that path, and specifically placing emphasis on this concession now that he has made after long contending that the scene had not been contaminated, to what we heard yesterday, where he could not basically rule out 100% that contamination did not take place.
Well, all very interesting, and it's taken a while to get to this point, but finally into the thick of things. Griselda will be watching. Thanks so much. Griselda Lewis, of course, SABC's reporter on that particular beat, and she'll be keeping us up to speed with the developments in the SENZO meyiwa trial.